I'm going to show you guys how I made this delicious double chocolate sourdough loaf for my sister for the holidays. She loved it. It's such a great gift to give and it's homemade. So let's get started. We are going to add 50 grams of cocoa powder into our bowl, and we're going to add 100 grams of warm water so we can dissolve, or I guess if you want to call it bloom, the cocoa powder. And the warm water will help us dissolve it so we can mix it into our dough mixture easier. So I go ahead and mix these two together. You can go ahead and let this sit for about 5 minutes so the cocoa powder can fully dissolve. But for me, I just mix it very well until I see no more chunks of cocoa powder. So then I go ahead and put on my scale and I add 150 grams of sourdough starter. Then I added 300 grams of water. When you're mixing this dough, it's going to feel like it's too dry or like there's not enough water, but just keep mixing. It will be perfect. So add the 300 grams of water, and then I go ahead and mix these ingredients together again. The next ingredient I add is brown sugar. I add 50 grams of this. If you don't have any brown sugar, you can just go ahead and use granulated sugar. I've used that before too, and it comes out tasting so good still. So use whatever you have, and then I mix these together again. And then once it's all mixed up, I add 500 grams of bread flour or all-purpose flour, and then I add 10 grams of salt. You can also add 10 grams of vanilla extract. I just didn't have any on hand, but it still came out delicious. So I go ahead and mix this dough as best as I can with my spatula. You can tell right here that this dough isn't as sticky as other doughs, which I love the texture of this dough. I don't know, but I love making this bread. It's my favorite bread actually. And the dough is just so easy to work with. I think it's because of the brown sugar. But I go ahead and do 3 sets of stretch and folds, going around the bowl 4 times. I wait 30 minutes in between each stretch and fold. Some people wait every hour, but it all depends on you and what you're able to do. So today I was kind of in a rush, so I did every 30 minutes. I did 3 sets. After the 3 sets, I let it bulk ferment on the counter. Today I actually let it bulk ferment during the day for about 10 hours until it doubled in size. It was nice and airy. It was jiggly. It was domed at the top. Here you can see how easily the dough comes off of my bowl. That's a great indication that the dough is ready to be shaped. So I shape my dough into a rectangle, and then I add milk chocolate chips. I don't measure or weigh how much I use. I just add whatever my heart desires. I love a lot of chocolate chips, so I added that amount, and then I folded over the top side of the dough towards the middle, and then the bottom part of the dough over that, and then I rolled it like a cinnamon roll. I love how this dough feels. It's not sticky at all, so I didn't even use any flour here to shape it. And I don't know, I just love this dough so much. And I just pinch to the sides to make sure that no inclusions come out. And then I shape it a little bit just to create some tension and have that perfect ball shape. So after that, I go ahead and put it in the refrigerator overnight. And I leave it at least 8 hours because I feel like my dough just does so well in the refrigerator for a few hours. So I go ahead and do that, and then the next morning I preheat my oven to 450 degrees with my Dutch oven inside. And once it's preheated, I take out my dough, I score it, I bake it for 20 minutes with the lid on at 450 degrees, and then I take the lid off, lower the temperature to 400 degrees, and I bake it for an additional 40 minutes. This loaf was a gift, so I did not cut into it, But I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you guys have happy holidays, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.